welcome back to my channel. So today I have another speed build for you. And so I am continuing to work on my apartment complex. So if you haven't seen that video, I have a video up on my channel right now of me building a giant apartment complex, and I am going through the process of actually designing each one of them. So this is actually the second one. It is one of the ones that's on the first floor and one of the smaller ones, and I decided that I wanted to actually create like a studio. This is a pretty large, luxurious apartment for it to be a studio, but I liked the idea of just having kind of everything in the same room. And I actually decided that I wanted it to be like modern and just have a lot of like black and blue hues. And so you can see right here, I'm kind of deciding where I want the kitchen area, and the bathrooms over there in the corner. And then I wanted to have like some platforms creating steps up to what will be the bed area. And I really wanted to have some of this wallpaper, but use it kind of as an accent, so it's actually the backdrop of the bed space, and what will eventually will have like a bunch of storage around it. So you'll see that here in a little bit. And I was having trouble deciding like what kind of bed I wanted, especially because I wasn't sure whether I wanted to go with like white or black, or that like thorny rose black and white bed. But I did end up, actually I don't remember what I did. I did this yesterday and I already forgot. But anyway, so I think I ended up with like a black or white bed. Yeah, I didn't do the thorns for sure. I kind of got rid of that one early on. And I started with actually having, I liked like having a makeshift headboard. So I actually had what's there has like the lights in it. I do change that later. I decided that was a little much, a little clubby for what I wanted. But I did end up using like the white marble. And then I was trying to figure out what to do with this rug, because if it's that size, it kind of intersects with the edge of the platform. But I wanted to use that, and then I found this bigger one that actually fit better and was in that blue hue that matched kind of the rest of everything else. And so then I ended up just putting some curtains up there, and there's not like a ton of clutter here either. I tried to keep it kind of simple. And then I used the new lamps from the new decor pack. I think it's decor to the max or something like that. And you can see I'm trying to like stack trying to do something creative and stack some of the cabinetry together, but I ended up going with the Dream Home Decorator. I was trying to avoid using it because I feel like I use it a lot, but you know, it was just too perfect. So I kind of make this custom cabinetry next to the bed, thinking that's where you'd put all your storage. In terms of like who would live here, I'm honestly not sure, because a lot of times I try to think about who would be here. It helps me think about the kind of clutter they would have and just maybe their general aesthetic. And I'm honestly not sure. I'm not sure if this would be like one or two Sims. I started thinking that maybe this was like a couple. And I don't know, they were like these up and coming business people and, you know, making lots of money. And this was like their expensive, like modern apartment they had. I don't know, maybe not. And I actually think it's interesting that like they would choose to be like in the studio apartment, and then actually the bathroom, I do end up really liking the way the bathroom turns out, but its window is actually on the front of this build. So literally like they're on the like street level, big window into your bathroom, but that's okay. I just think it's kind of funny. And then I end up putting like, it's a towel on the edge, like on that bench, but I like to think that maybe it's like a folded blanket or something like that. Like I know I have a ton of blankets in my house, and I try to, I thought it'd be nice to be symmetric and have those on both ends, but then like, I don't know, every time I turned it around, it like was this weird like bluey purple color, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's just because it doesn't know how to deal with that kind of lighting when it gets turned around. And I was trying to also put like a built-in like with some bookcases and things like that, but then it just kind of got a little weird, because I was like, where exactly do I put the desk? And then the desk, if it's intersecting it, like it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to have all those drawers underneath it, because you couldn't really get to it, and then like that didn't fit well. So anyways, I end up putting a little bit of storage on the sides of the desk, and then putting up just a piece of art on the wall, so it's not as busy as having all of those bookcases on the wall. And so I end up using, this is the painting we end up with, and then I just add like this funky looking lamp, and then some cubicle storage that matches the rest of the storage I have here, and just having some stuff out on the desk, like maybe that they were working on it, and so just some files, things like that. And then it was interesting trying to get like these to set where I wanted to, and I kept getting this, so I don't know what was going on. I don't know if I've done something weird with this build, or if it's just because there's a lot of stuff on the lot, or if the Sims is having some kind of issue, but I feel like move objects is being really weird right now, because like stacking those was difficult. It kept saying like it couldn't intersect other objects, and like it wasn't. And then I actually have an issue later on with the kitchen. There's actually, I believe I left the footage in here, but there's a kitchen counter that just kind of refused to stay. It just kept on disappearing, and I was like, what is going on? And I think it may be because I had some objects on it that were from like I used move objects to place them, and I think it was mad and it thought they were intersecting, and like so it just like deleted the counter outright. But I did eventually get it to stay, although when I went back in, so fun fact, when I actually took the screenshots for this build, I took them, I got out of the game, I actually started getting this video ready, and then I remembered, actually my mom was sitting there and she was like, did you take any pictures of the bathroom? And I had not, so I had to open up the game again, go back in and get some pictures of the bathroom. But it had gotten rid of the stuff that I put on the counters with move objects and the stuff that I put in the bathroom using move objects. And so even though I had move objects on, and for those of you who don't know, I just keep saying the words move objects, but it is a cheat kind of code you can put in. It allows you to intersect objects, and so it lets you to, customize things. Because usually when you try to place furniture or items, you can't like put them on top of each other or put them too close to each other. So anyways, I like using that a lot, but it was just being really weird. And it was weird in the apartment that's across the way here as well. So I don't know. So maybe it's just I did something weird with this build, and so my game keeps freaking out, or there's just a lot of stuff on the lot, which is concerning because I still have like 4 more apartments to do in this. But anyways, it'll be all right. And this is actually already on the gallery. Oh my gosh, and right here, y'all, so I was so excited about this wall I'm creating. I put a table, and I'm like, this looks so classy and like nice and decorated. I was so happy with it. And then after I start moving on to the living room, I actually realized that that's where the door to the bathroom's supposed to go. Like, you can't get in the bathroom. So I end up having to move all of that stuff. I was heartbroken. I was wondering if there's a way I could get around that, because I really liked the way it ended up looking, but it's okay. We moved it. It looks good in the end. But it was kind of, I don't know what I was doing. I just got so excited and decorated. And I think because usually I put doors in first, and for some reason I hadn't, so I wasn't even thinking about it. And then, yeah, thinking about it at this point, I was like, yeah, I messed that up. I'll figure that out in a minute. So I got some stuff out to clutter this area, and clutter on the counters just a little bit, just some like plates and spices. Like I said, not like a ton, because I don't think they'd have a lot of stuff. It just seems like, I don't know, the sim I was thinking about would be kind of cleanly and not have a lot of clutter everywhere. So like the paper towel roll, like disappeared later when I came back. It's in the screenshots, but then when I came back to the lot, gone. Same thing with the plates, and that was the the cabinet that kept disappearing. So I think you've seen me place it like a bunch of times, because I was like, what are you doing? Like, what is going on? And I also thought, I actually don't usually put coffee makers in my builds, but I just felt like the Sims, or Sim, whoever you have here, would want coffee. I don't know. And like I said, I have no clue, and that was me trying to like so desperately trying to put that there. And I think every time I moved stuff with move objects, it disappeared. So I think there was something going on with it. I did pause the video recording and try to turn it off and do stuff and turn it back on. It just still kept like doing weird stuff. So I decided to move all those pieces over to the living room area to see if I can kind of salvage some of that decorating idea that I had. And I saved some of it, but I did take some of the stuff that was on it off because it did feel kind of cluttered. But I did create like a custom couch. I was doing some like weird stuff with it, and it just felt very small. So I actually end up adding like a half wall to extend that couch space out just a little bit. And it just did, it made a little more sense to me because it just felt tiny in comparison to like TV, the window, and everything else around it. And so I end up, because like I had like, yeah, that carpet, I think I'm turning it around so it makes a little more sense. And then it actually was nice because it allowed me to then put a chair on the other side. Like, so it actually allowed for more seating without, you know, it stuff being like what felt like in the middle of the room. And that was, oh yeah, me trying to move objects off and then on again, trying to like get that counter to stay. But anyways, so in case you download this, it may do something weird, I'm not sure, but this is on the gallery, and I actually added it to the gallery as a room, so you could download it either separately or place it on a lot and just make it a house. So when you place it, I had to delete out some of the walls so that it actually sees this as a single room. And also, in case you were not aware, like trying to upload this to the gallery, it gets very mad about platforms because, especially if you're trying to do like a room, for some reason, it's like, it basically thinks that that wallpapered portion of the wall behind the bed is not part of the room. Like it just blocks it out. And so it was a struggle. So I ended up having to bump down the platforms. So if you download it and want to use it, you'll just have to put the platforms back in, or you don't have to, that's totally up to you. And once the whole entire apartment complex is done, I'll be uploading the whole thing fully decorated up. And I know I've said this before, like about this apartment complex is going to be so expensive, like insanely expensive. Like I'm curious to see what the bill's going to be on this place once I have stuff in it. But anyways, I really enjoyed actually making this and putting some of the clutter in here. And it was kind of interesting because Steph wanted to clip to this little bookcase, so I had to like kind of maneuver around that. And I'd never seen that looks like an origami like crane. I'd never seen that before in the game, and I wanted to use it, but I couldn't size it down any more than that, so it was just too large for me to use. And then I remembered I actually need to put like some trim or like what looks like the foundation kind of stuff on the platforms, and I was trying to decide if I wanted to put like a rim on it and whether it wanted to be black or white. And anyways, we went the plain like black brick around the edge of it, and so I think that turned out really nice. And then I did struggle a little bit in this bathroom trying to figure out exactly what I wanted to do, because I wanted a shower and a bath and I wanted them to be separate. I do end up moving the door over a little bit to give me a little more room, since it kind of having it over in the corner made it difficult for me to put something over on that wall and that's adjacent to the kitchen. So I do shift that around a little bit. But it's a very spacious bathroom, lots of room. And then at this point I realized too that I had somehow, when I was doing the other wallpaper, I had painted over the the tile in the kitchen. So I was like, oh, I need to put that back. So yeah, just replacing that, and then just kind of putting the shower into the wall a little bit. So it's like the fixtures look like they're just in the tile. And I just think that looks really nice. And just keeping like the bathroom really simple. Like that's just about it. And then I just have, the sink and the stuff that's on it. I tried to place it back to take screenshots, but not all of it. Like the soap I couldn't put back, and the toothbrushes I couldn't put back. Like the move objects, they kept yelling at me. So not all the clutter is there inside of the screenshots. So, I mean, I'm hoping if you download it, maybe it doesn't give you that issue, but it did save it. So, fingers crossed. And so we're just adding a little bit of art in here, and then just trying to keep it really simple. Not a lot in here. And then the last thing we have to do is the 2 balconies, and those as well, I just kept those as really simple sitting spaces. Like I didn't think they would be doing a whole lot of stuff. Maybe just entertaining. And there's like couches on the front. Like I feel like that'd be nice, like to see out to the street. And there's just like a single chair on the back so that you can just kind of hang out. And because the view from there is just the parking lot, so it's not as like nice. I figured if you had company, you'd be out on the front porch. But just taking some of the black and white theme out there. And then I just got like a piece of art for the wall. And then that's about it for this build. So thank you so much for watching my video. And if you like it, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more like it. And enjoy the screenshots, and I hope you have a really sweet day. Bye, everybody.